So thank you guys again for joining me. This is the Cat's Pajamas, and I am broadcasting for IPL Winners Round number 1. This is season number 1 of the IPL, and I am stoked to be casting this. This is the rubber match, game number 3 of a set between ROOTdrewbie, spawning as our Red Terran player here at the 12 o'clock position on Shattered Temple. His opponent down here at the bottom portion of the map, the 6 o'clock position, is FnaticMSiTTI's TT1. He is our green Protoss player. So TT1 and drewbie cross positions from each other here on Shattered Temple. We'll see what these players end up going for. The games have been markedly different in terms of what strategies both players have gone for, but they've had a similar feel. Both have kind of been wrapped up by timing pushes. In game number 1 on Xel'Naga, drewbie detected a lot of tech being constructed for TT1 at once, knew he wouldn't have a lot of forces, decided to push out for the kill right there. And then on the flip side, in game number 2 on Terminus, TT1 went for this really, really strong 2-base, 5-gate push. And drewbie at that point had completely unupgraded Marines, actually went after a 1-Rax, no-gas, fast expand. And before the 7-minute mark, actually had down 3 bases altogether, which would have been great had he been able to hold a first push. In fact, it probably would have been unovercomable for TT1. But unfortunately, that was not the case. It did not happen. drewbie was not able to hold and did fall to the 5-gate timing push. So we are on game number 3, and we'll see what both these players decide to bring to the table. They will find that they are cross positions here momentarily. TT1 is continuing to chrono boost out some probes. He's not really gone after super aggressive, super fast warp gate technology. He's instead invested in economy both games so far. We'll see if he goes after the same thing here. Pylon coming down now for TT1 as well. Already saturating that assimilator. And there is an SCV coming out now for drewbie. Of course, TT1 sent out his scout very, very early. He's going to find his opponent that much quicker. drewbie, on the other hand, with a little more predictable build this time around. We'll see if he goes right into... No, he's actually not going to go into a reactor this time around. So it looks like we are going to see a factory come up here pretty soon. He's going to time nicely for that. There's the 150 minerals as well. Looks like he wants to clean up the scout before he decides to do that. Or maybe, once again, he is actually going to save up for a fast expand, as now the Marines are going to clear this up. There is, in fact, a reactor coming down for drewbie, an SCV coming out at the moment. And he is going to save up a number of resources. So there's 300 resources. Looks like he's going to save up to 400, construct his command center right up here. There's the 400 resources, and there's the command center. Back on TT1 side of things, he has gone after a quick second gas. He is still continuing to chrono boost out his probes, building his warp gate technology, but of course that will take quite a while to finish. And so here we go now. Gateway's producing a number of stalkers. And it looks like he's going into a sentry right after that. Still a second gate coming up, very similar to the build he did in the first game with his 2-gate robo. We'll see if he does the same thing here. Pylon coming down. You know, I take that back a little bit. It was actually, he went for... Whoa! TT1 with some choice words there for drewbie. Drewbie accusing him of peeking there. Completely out of nowhere, but I love it. And actually an SCV down here at the bottom right for drewbie. It would be awesome if he put up some sort of proxy Rex or something like that, just because. Be ludicrous, but just because. And TT1 is actually saving up that gas for a Stargate. So a 2-gate Stargate build coming up. We'll see if he puts this behind, Phoenix's incredibly beautiful in a Zerg play, and even in, in PvP play as we go towards the late game quite a bit. Helps neutralize a lot of the support units there with Colossi. But in TvP is kind of struggling to find its use, Phoenix is. They are obviously very beautiful for putting up a bunch of them, just getting out some harassment, taking out a mineral line with relative ease, picking up units left and right. They are good. They're just a little bit possibly even underutilized, I think. So drewbie has up a bunch of Marines now. He's going over to siege tanks. So this is very akin to what we saw out of him in the first game. And it looks like a Stalker gets in there a little bit too close, almost loses all of its health. It is now forced to retreat. So it's going to move away. taking a look back here, TT1 going up to a third gate, so 3-gate Stargate build. And this unit composition is nice, suggests something of an expansion out of TT1. Let's see. Oh, there's the first couple of Phoenixes. Let's actually follow those across the map now and see what they're able to do. Looks like they're going to take the long way around. And this is nice as there's... Oh, wow, actually, drewbie is putting up an engineering bay. But it's going to be a while before that actually does come up. And let's see a number of SCVs transferring over to the next expansion for drewbie. He can drop down. He can go ahead and drop down a... I'm sorry, I'm worried about the harassment here as TT1 is going to pick up a couple of units. He actually doesn't have another graviton beam ready. Now he's going ahead and picking up a couple more SCVs. But at the same time, drewbie is actually going to move out and attack. So here comes drewbie now. Going to push out with all of his units. Let's see what TT1 is able to do. Since TT1 does not have that big of a defense ready, he's going to need a good Guardian Shield and some good force fields. Those Marines were actually going after the Phoenixes for a while. One tank does get picked up, and TT1 is actually going to neutralize the second tank as well. Both the tanks are down, and TT1 holds very well. He loses almost all of his Phoenixes in the process, but he takes down 2 tanks there and all of the Marines, and it looks like he is going to move right into a counterattack. drewbie smartly putting up as many static defenses as he can. And a bunch of SCVs being sent in to repair as well because he knows exactly what is coming. TT1, though, in a very strong position. drewbie has out a few Marines to come in here and reinforce. That missile turret is done. The SCVs are in play. And an expansion just about to finish up for TT1 as well. We'll get to that in a second. drewbie retreating with his SCVs. Looks like he has a few ready to go. Looks like the Phoenix may swing around the side. Is it going to pick up a siege tank? No, it does not. Guardian Shield goes down for TT1, and he smartly retreats. So TT1 continuing to produce probes at a pretty good clip. Both players even on workers. Now TT1 with a slight advantage. But, of course, drewbie is going to have mules to work with, and his economy will look quite a bit better. Let's take a look at the income tab here. As, yes, drewbie is mining at a greater rate in gas and in minerals because of those mules. So now TT1 is going after something similar to what we saw in Game 1, going right to a Twilight Council and a Forge. Of course, substituting a Stargate for a Robo. It's like all of these Phoenixes going to move out for another attack, possibly. These destructible rocks will fall pretty soon. Here comes some Hellions, though, for drewbie. Uh-oh, and drewbie is going to see something... Wow! He is going to see, once again, that TT1 is investing heavily in tech, and those Hellions actually can't escape. Now they're trying to. One Hellion is going to go down, but these Hellions have actually... Oh, my God! All of these probes are just lining up! This is a slaughter! That is a slaughter! drewbie is able to kill so many probes there. He takes a bad situation and makes it incredible for him, and he's actually very well defended at his natural as well with that missile turret. These Hellions are still doing damage. Blue Flame is now finished. He gets off a couple more kills. That is an incredible amount of workers killed. 18 workers killed for drewbie to just 3 for TT1. TT1 falling way behind in that regard. drewbie going to send out another round of Hellions now. And is he going to be able to do all the damage he wants? As now TT1 is pretty well defended. He'll be able to kill those Hellions before they're able to get in. TT1 flying back in with his Phoenixes as well. Yes, those Hellions are going to retreat. Phoenixes are not going to pursue. Well, now they are. They could pick them up pretty quickly if drewbie isn't prepared. But it looks like, no, TT1 is hot on the heels of those Hellions. Knows exactly where to go. And he's going to move up now. drewbie is defended with his mass Hellion tank, though. Missile turret's doing quite a bit of damage. TT1's going to move in. He's going to pick off a couple of... Gets one SCV there. Gets a second. Almost loses a Phoenix. But again, he's losing a lot of damage, and he's not done near as much harassment as drewbie has. Both players going to their corner expansions down here in the bottom right. FnaticMSiTTI putting up his Nexus. It's about 2/3 of the way finished. And drewbie here almost finished with his next command center here in the top left. So it looks like we're ready for quite the macro game. Mobius reactor being researched for those ghosts. Give them that extra starting energy. let's see. Drewbie is now on 3 factories and a starport. And he's going to get in with a few Hellions. And these Hellions are going to scout the next expansion, not really do all that much damage. In fact, these Hellions may fall, but the scouting information was valuable. What was more valuable was that they cleared the way for all of these Hellions. So many probes are going to fall here. Look at all the ones that are... And these Hellions just have not gone down yet. They finally do, but so many probes have fallen again. TT1 ready with all of his Phoenixes. Let's actually take a look at the workers killed again. 37 workers killed. ROOTdrewbie has killed 37 workers. TT1 has only killed 5. That is an enormous disparity. If we take a look at the workers tab, Drewbie is up by 18 workers, and he has mules. Looks like he's actually going to put in a planetary fortress here at the top left. Content with the amount of economic damage he's done. And missile turrets kill 1 Phoenix. And 3 SCVs do fall. But TT1 is going to lose a couple of Phoenixes. May lose a second. He does. 2 Phoenixes go down. And all he does is really stop a couple of supply depots from going up. So not a bad loss there for Drewbie whatsoever. Looks like Drewbie is going to go to his gold as well. The army supply is in Drewbie's favor by about 12 supply. It's about 20% larger than TT1's army. He is still up in worker supply, but of course TT1 is going to be falling back in army because he has to produce so many workers right now. And I like this placement of the sensor tower going down for Drewbie. And oh no, these Phoenixes may be caught! And it looks like they're going to pick up the SEV. Wow, actually, not bad control there. Sensor tower is stopped. The construction is stopped, but now it's Drewbie is going to be on 4 bases here pretty soon with his rich mineral expansion as well, putting out a few Thors. Now going over to Thor Ghost as his build of choice. Looks like TT1 wants to push out and see where the upgrade war is at. 1-1 upgrades now for TT1. The mech for Drewbie is researching 1-1, but it's not done yet. So we'll see. It looks like TT1 just pushes out for a second, then decides to retreat. The sensor tower is now complete, of course. And here comes Drewbie, now going to move back in with all of these Hellions as TT1 is going after these destructible rocks. And there is an opening here. Does TT1 react to this quick enough? No, he's going to move in now with his Phoenixes, though. These Hellions trying to get in. They're roasting a couple more probes. Actually not doing all that much this time. They still do disrupt the general flow of the game for TT1, who is back by 21 supply overall. Drewbie, of course, finishing 1-1 upgrades for his mech. TT1 going to ground weapons level 2, but 2-2 upgrades coming up now for Drewbie, who is putting up yet more refineries at the back of his base. Has quite a few minerals saved up. And there, the SUV is transferring over. Is he mined out of his main? Nope, but almost. TT1 establishing his 4th base over at the gold as well. There's the scan that goes down. TT1, his position found out, his army composition revealed, and Drewbie is about to be maxed on very, very good units. So TT1 making his way out. Looks like he's trying to skirt around the edge of the sensor tower. Slightly gets into view there. Drewbie would have had to been really observant to know. And there's the blink into the main. Uh-oh. Oh my god. TT1 could do a ton of damage with this. As more Thors are coming up. But they have a while before they finish. 1 Thor coming up here in the main. Drewbie is going to move through now with all of his Hellions. Here's the blink back for TT1. He's actually not committing to this attack anymore. And he's not going to do as much damage, I think, as he wants. He's going to pick off a few SCVs here. But the Thors should clear this up with relative ease. They got to move out, though. Looks like Drewbie is only going to engage with half his force. This is actually going to give TT1 a pretty good opening here. As, wow, the Blue Flame Hellions, though, obliterating all of those Zealots. Nice EMPs! The EMPs take out the shields of almost all of those units. TT1 is getting his force obliterated. He is now down by 60 supply. Drewbie not even needing his whole force to take this out. And TT1 going to lose all of his probes. There's the GG! And Drewbie is going to advance to the winner's bracket, round number 2 here at IPL Season 1.